Okay, so in my last video, I talked about the option overload that I'm running into. I have basically 5 different options in how I could direct my business efforts and focus to grow my business. And for the last couple of months, I've been kind of split between multiples of these. And those 5 are continuing to grow with NASA and seek out more work with government entities. The second one is to do credit-based custom work for smaller window cleaning companies and other service-based companies. The third one is to develop a productized service that's I solve one specific problem for smaller service-based businesses, but I really just focus on that one thing instead of doing everything custom. The fourth thing is buying a service-based business. And the fifth thing is to actually start a service-based business. So all 5 of these things are taking up my focus when I really need to just pick one and throw all of my energy at that instead of being split and being stuck in analysis paralysis. So this video is being made just as much for me as it is being made for you, to be honest. It's just my thought process and reasoning process of how to work through these things. And so I have kind of like a general idea of how I want to do this. So let me share this on the whiteboard. So basically, when making decisions, there's a couple of principles that I keep in mind or that I kind of operate by. So the one big one is using gut/intuition as compared to using small, really mental thoughts to try to think through everything that's going on and try to brain my way to making a big decision. The reason for this is your subconscious is actually processing a lot of things underneath the surface. It's taking in a lot of information, and that subconscious is there to help you make a good decision, and it manifests itself in gut feelings. And so my personal belief is that if you have a strong gut feeling towards something like a big life decision, life movement of like, this is really what I want to go, I can't totally justify it mentally, or there's something a little bit weird or crazy about it, but I just can't get away from this idea. How I interpret that is an intuition that your subconscious has been processing a lot of data underneath the surface and is telling you, do this. You can't get away from this from a reason. Even if you can't consciously think of it, your subconscious is saying that's a thing. Now, all that being said, I still want to use my brain, right? I don't want to just live life off of feelings, and that just is too scary for me. So the second idea is using frameworks to process things for me or to help process information. And so frameworks come from people. So they come from people that I know, like, and respect. And a lot of these people that I know, like, and respect have written books. They've written books, or they've put out content or articles that is already worked through challenges that I'm working through. I want to, as Cody Sanchez puts it, steal their homework, right? I want to actually follow their line of reasoning and see where that gets me. So that's where this stack of books comes in behind me. These are all written by people that I know, like, and trust, and I like the way that they think. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'll just write down kind of the different people and what their approaches are. So give me a second and I'll get that on the whiteboard and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to start with ones that I know more and that I will probably put more weight on. So the first ones that I want to share with you are the $100 million offers and $100 million leads by Alex Hormozi. I love the way that he thinks, and I love what he's doing, and I really look up to him, and I love the idea of how he's getting into acquisition and running acquisition and providing a lot of value to people for free online. And then he has these really, really great books that are very work style oriented to be able to think through how to build an offer and then how to get leads, basically, like, marketing books. So that's going to be the first one. These two are the first ones that I'm going to be looking through for frameworks and deciding how to move forward. Okay. The next one that I want to look at is, this is an incredible book. The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Now, if you've never heard of Naval, and you're in business, you need to get this book. Like, I don't care what industry you're in, what you do. If you have any interest in business at all, you need this book. It's just so cool and so good. And like I have stuff like marked up throughout this entire book because he's basically like a business philosopher and is really big on not only how to grow a business, but to grow a business that fits your life and to live life well as a business person. I'm a Jesus follower. I'm a believer. I believe the Bible, however you want to put that. He is not, I don't believe. And so some of the main critique that I have to this is, it even says a guide to health and happiness is like building a business only goes so far in providing you happiness. So there will always be something missing unless you don't have Jesus at the center of your life. So, but lots of really great stuff in here. So that's the second resource. The third resource is Main Street Millionaire by Codie Sanchez. You have heard of Codie Sanchez. You know that she's awesome. Her big thing is buying ordinary businesses. So this is like something that would pull me towards the option of buying a business rather than continuing to grow Oh So Efficient or start my own business. And yeah, just how she thinks, really cool. She's been successful at it. So I think this is going to be really advocating towards buying businesses. Okay, and then lastly, these are from the ones that I really know, like, and trust is Dan Martell's Buy Back Your Time. This is a book that's probably more geared towards somebody that has a clear offer, and I probably need to have an offer first because this is for people who are probably a step or two ahead of me where they have more business than they can handle. He starts with like hiring a virtual assistant to help you with your scheduling and your email, and then getting somebody to help you fulfill on delivering the well-defined product, and then getting somebody to sell the well-defined product, and then getting somebody to market the well-defined product. Whereas right now, my business is not well-defined. Basically, my business is me and my virtual assistant and my abilities, but I don't really have like a clear-cut offer. So I'll build with this in mind, but it's probably not the most applicable for where I'm at this exact point. So yeah, this is one that I actually haven't finished, but I love the underlying principle, the mom test. So the concept is basically like you go to your mom when you're wanting to start a business and you're like, Mom, I want to start a business selling, I don't know, neon shoelaces. And they're like, yay, that's so great. We're so proud of you. People are going to be friendly towards you when you're asking your friends about your cool new business idea. The mom test is basically a methodology of finding business ideas that actually will work. So this is probably going to apply to discerning between whether to do the credit-based custom work system or actually developing a product and figuring out what that product should. Okay, so this is also near the top of the list. So Oversubscribed by Daniel Priestley is a book on basically creating demand before you sell. It's like really focusing on supply and demand economics, focusing on scarcity. So this is kind of like more of a strategy book. Again, once you have a clear defined offer, and even maybe I just need to define what the custom credit-based work is and like put some guarantees around that and to package that up in a really nice way. Okay, so then there's these 4 other ones that I'm just going to peruse through. I don't think I'm really going to look through these super closely. Systemology. This is about scaling a business through systems. Again, this has been helpful for the consulting work that I've done for other people. Walking to Destiny. This one is more so for people who are wanting to sell their business. If I'm wanting to buy a business and then prepare that business for sale, which really all that means when you're preparing a business for sale is you're just stabilizing the business, you're removing risk, you're removing uncertainty, you're growing the business, that sort of, and you're getting into a place where it's not all tied to you. Then you have Accidental Salesperson, basically an approach to sales that is focused on being genuine and focusing on being a good, healthy salesperson that actually can deliver results, but is doing it in an ethical way. And then this last one is The Road Less Stupid. This is kind of going against this idea that I gave here. It's a tempering of this idea of like following your gut and your intuition. This is a book on how to process through and think through risk and taking time to actually think. So you can even say, like, you can see here, here's the real secret. Chance of success goes up when you think, plan, consistently execute the right things, and worry about the possibility of loss. Now go think. You will thank me later. So his whole thing is about, like, don't just feel your way there, think your way there. Like, here's the process of actually thinking through and making decisions. So I could probably rely on this and understand at least his frameworks before moving forward. These three here are going to be more so just like reference and something to quickly look at, but these three are not really going to be my primary books to be thinking through. But all that being said, I feel like this is just like Nerd Out with Andrew time. Something that Luke Parker, a friend and life coach of mine, said: when you don't know what to do, the first thing to do is always to figure out what to do. So that is where I'm at this week, is just kind of stopping and figuring out what I want to do, because I've been swirling for a bit and I kind of finally realized what's going on. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts yourself, if you have any advice or insights, feel free to throw it down in the comments. If you stuck it out this long, I am impressed, because I don't know if I would make it through this kind of video. But again, this video is kind of more so for both of us rather than just trying to, create content that is for the clicks or the likes. So that being said, appreciate it, and we'll get to it. See ya.